Okay, question number 2. What is the value of 36x minus 8y squared, or 8y to the second power, when x equals 3 and y equals negative 6? What we're going to do is we're going to take the number 3, we're going to plug it in every time we see x. So we're going to replace the letter x with the number 3. We're going to do the same thing with y. When we see the letter y, we're going to take that out. We're going to replace it with the integer negative 6, and we're going to work it out. We need to be sure to follow our order of operations, or our PEMDAS rules, when we do this. Okay, so we've done the first step. We took the x out of there and replaced it with the number 3. We took the y out of there. We replaced it with negative 6. Now we're ready to work this out, but we need to make sure we are following the proper rules. You may recall, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And the P stands for parentheses. The E stands for exponents. I'm going to put EXP here as an abbreviation. So those little guys up there are the exponents. M is multiplication, D is division, A is addition, S is subtraction. In this situation, what I did, I'm going to take the parentheses out of here so we don't get confused. And I'm going to put a little dot there indicating multiplication, because that's what's happening here. The same thing is happening at this point in time. I'm going to take the 6 out of there, or the parentheses out of there, and replace it with a little dot. So at this point in time, we have no parentheses. That means we move on to the exponents. That means any exponents that we see, we need to take care of that first. It's only one exponent, as you can see. This is negative 6 times negative 6. We know that negative 6 times negative 6, well, a negative times a negative is a positive, and 6 times 6 is 36. So I write this down, I cross off where it came from, I bring everything else straight down. It's a little time consuming, but it's a very important process. You want to go step by step, and you want to take your time. I'm going to bring that 8 straight down. I'm going to bring that dot straight down. Remember, we're multiplying here. We've got a subtraction sign here. And then the 36 times 3, I need to drop that straight down as well. I'm going to put a little arrow showing where that came from. Same thing with that 8. So here's where we're at. We've got multiplication, subtraction, multiplication. As we look at our rules, we know that all multiplication is done before any subtraction. So we're going to multiply this guy, and we're going to multiply that guy. Let's take a moment to do that in our calculator. Okay, 36 times 3 is 108. As soon as I write that down, I like to cross off where it came from. I know that 8 times 36 equals 288. As soon as I write that down, I like to cross off where it came from. I'm going to bring everything else straight down, which I have already done. If we take a look at this problem, we have a smaller number minus a bigger number. That tells us we should end up with a negative number for our final answer, and that is what's going to happen. Let's go ahead and finish this up. And so when we enter this into our calculator, 108 minus 288 equals negative 180, and that's absolutely correct. So this is the solution to problem number 2. We replaced each of those variables with the corresponding numbers. We made sure to follow our order of operations rules, or our PEMDAS rules, and we end up with the final answer of negative 108.